Introduction. Why family changes as we age. When we're young, we believe family is a permanent, unbreakable unit. Parents, children, siblings, cousins. We imagine these relationships will always feel the same, always stay close, always stay familiar. But once you cross into your 60s, 70s, and beyond, you begin to notice something no one warned you about. Family dynamics transform. Roles shift, priorities change, and the people you once thought would always remain close may begin to drift away. Bonds that felt solid can become delicate and sometimes even painful. Today, I want to reveal 4 surprising truths about family dynamics in later life. Truths that can either weigh heavily on your heart or, if understood properly, bring peace, strength, and emotional freedom. Truth number 1. Money exposes true intentions. If you want to understand a person's character, introduce money into the situation. Later in life, topics like inheritance, property, and wills bring out behaviors you may have never seen before. Some children love sincerely, but for others, the thought of what you might leave behind becomes a quiet motivation. Suddenly, visits increase, not out of affection, but out of strategy. Words become sweeter, not from love, but from fear of being excluded. And when the time comes to divide what you spent a lifetime working for, arguments erupt, siblings clash, and families crumble overnight. This is why so many elderly parents feel disappointed and heartbroken. They discover that to some relatives, their worth isn't tied to who they are, but to what they can give. Painful? Yes, but also eye-opening. Once you see the truth clearly, you can protect yourself wisely. Put your legal affairs in order early. Make decisions without pressure from anyone. If you choose to give during your lifetime, do it in a way that keeps you safe and independent. Watch how people treat you when there's no financial benefit involved. That is where true loyalty is revealed. And most importantly, your money exists to support your comfort, not to buy anyone's love. Use it to create peace in your old age, not conflict after you're gone. Truth number 2. Some relatives will naturally drift away. This next truth is one of the most painful to accept. You spent years, decades, putting your family first. You sacrificed sleep, comfort, dreams, and opportunities so they could have a better life. And throughout all those years, you believed that the love you poured in would always be returned, that loyalty would never fade. But time changes people. As your children build their own lives, priorities shift, new relationships form, new responsibilities emerge. And sometimes the emotional connection you once shared becomes weaker, not because you did anything wrong, but because life is pulling them in different directions. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It simply means their world has grown, and you are no longer at the center of it. As your children grow into adulthood, their worlds expand in ways you never imagined. They develop careers, build families, and take on responsibilities that slowly shift their attention elsewhere. Without realizing it, the center of their universe moves away from you. Phone calls that used to come daily become occasional. Visits shrink from long afternoons to short check-ins. And promises of "I'll come soon" quietly stretch into months. You begin to see it clearly. The people who once depended on you for everything now live in a world where you're no longer at the top of the priority list. Sometimes this shift doesn't mean they love you any less, but it does mean their loyalty and energy are divided. And yes, in some painful cases, the distance does come from selfishness or fading affection. Not every relative will stay emotionally close. Some step back because it no longer benefits them, others because they've simply moved on. This truth hurts, but it also teaches something important. Instead of holding tightly to relationships that are drifting away, strength comes from building emotional independence. Stop measuring your happiness by how often someone remembers to call. Fill your days with joy you create for yourself. Invest in friendships, neighbors, community, people who choose you because they want to, not because they feel they must. The sorrow of aging is sitting by the phone waiting for a love that rarely shows up. The power of aging is realizing your value was never meant to be measured by someone else's attention. Even if you live alone, even if relationships have changed, peace begins the moment you stop chasing what left and start appreciating what remains. Truth number 3. Respect must be earned again in a new way. There was a time when simply being the elder of the family came with automatic honor. Your presence commanded silence. Your advice was sought after. Your voice carried authority. Times have changed. Today's world moves fast, too fast, and it often prioritizes youth, trends, and technology over experience. Older voices can feel muted, overlooked, or even dismissed entirely, even by those who once looked up to you. It's not fair, but it is real. Respect in later life is no longer guaranteed. You must redefine your value in a world that forgets easily, not by arguing, not by demanding attention, and certainly not by begging to be heard. You earn it by the way you carry yourself. Keep your mind active. Stay curious and informed. Speak with calm confidence instead of frustration. Set firm boundaries when someone, even family, speaks to you with disrespect. Your worth isn't based on your age or your past achievements alone. It's reflected in how you present yourself today, in your self-respect, and in the dignity you refuse to surrender. If you present yourself with anger or bitterness, people may pity you, not respect you. But when you carry yourself with calm strength, steady wisdom, and quiet confidence, even those who once overlooked you will begin to see your true value. Growing older is not a decline, it is an achievement. It is experience, resilience, and insight earned through decades of life. You've endured storms your children haven't yet encountered. You've solved problems they still don't understand. You've lived a life filled with lessons they haven't even begun to learn. So don't shrink yourself by chasing anyone's approval. Stand tall in who you've become. Let your presence speak for you. Your dignity will command the respect you deserve. Truth number 4. Silence becomes your greatest strength. In your younger years, you fought hard for your voice, defending your choices, arguing your points, and proving your worth at every turn. But with age comes a surprising realization. Silence is no longer weakness, it becomes your superpower. Family misunderstandings will still happen. There will always be someone who misjudges your intentions or repeats your words incorrectly. Some relatives may disrespect you, gossip, or dismiss your feelings. When you were younger, you might have challenged every injustice. But now, something more important matters: your peace. Silence doesn't mean surrender. It means you've learned the value of your time, your emotions, and your energy. You don't have to explain yourself to children who aren't willing to listen. You don't need to argue with siblings who thrive on conflict. You don't owe anyone a justification for how you choose to live your life. Silence is dignity. Silence is clarity. Silence is the shield that protects your heart from being dragged into pointless battles. Choosing silence doesn't mean you can't fight. It means you choose not to waste your strength on situations that don't deserve it. Your life story already speaks louder than any argument. When disrespect comes, when drama knocks on your door, when others try to provoke a reaction, stay silent, not out of fear, but out of mastery. Your silence in later life is not emptiness, it is confidence. It is freedom. It is the reminder that you know your worth without needing anyone else's approval. My friends, these are the 4 surprising truths about family in your later years. Respect is no longer automatic. You must define your value. Love and loyalty can shift as people build their own lives. Money can reveal the genuine